What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How are you all doing today? Welcome back to another episode of Phenomenal Views. I am back at college, as you can see. That's my roommate stuff over there. But yes, this is my first review. This is my back-to-school review. So let's talk about found footage movies. There's a lot of them. There's horror found footage movies. There's monster found footage movies. There's documentaries. There is a lot of things to do with found footage. And I just got done. Actually, by the way, this is not my first time watching this movie. I did watch it a couple times. And I just got done watching it again. This is my review for the 2012 found footage movie Chronicle. Now, I have heard a lot of good talk about this movie, but I had never watched it, and before I got back to school, I was like, hey, you know what, it's $5, let's pick it up, let's give it a try. And I watched it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a really good movie. And the thing is, when I was watching it, it doesn't even really feel like a found footage movie. But, okay. Before I start this review, this is going to contain spoilers, so if you have not watched Chronicle, I strongly suggest you turn off the video now, go watch it, and then come back to this review. I will give you a couple seconds to leave. Okay, so Chronicle is a movie about these three kids. We have Matt, we have Andrew, and we have Steven. Steven is played by the guy who plays Johnny Storm in Fan Four Stick. Andrew is played by the guy who plays Harry Osborn in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And as for Matt, I don't know. But these three kids find this hole in the ground where they go and they find this rock, and it so happens that they are given the powers of telekinesis. And so through the whole entire thing of this movie, this actually kind of feels realistic because first of all, this is kind of, to me, it's kind of a found footage superhero movie, but the fact of the matter is, they never at one time say, hey, we're going to be superheroes. They never say, hey, we have powers, we're going to go save the world. They never say anything like that. And when I say like this kind of feels more realistic is the fact that these are all teenagers in high school. And you know, like, yes, Peter Parker got powers and stuff like that. But the thing of the matter is, like, with these kids, they have fun with the powers. They do things like they're pulling pranks on people. They're experimenting with their powers. They learn how to do all these amazing things. And I was like, you know what? I honestly feel like this is what would happen if kids, like, people in high school or middle school who got powers, what they would be like, because like they would be like experimenting with them, they would be trying to make themselves better, they would be pulling pranks on people, and I just feel like, okay, yeah, this actually kind of feels what kids would be like if they had powers like this. So we go into characters. This movie is all about Andrew. Andrew is one of those kids who we get like this whole story with him, how he's been bullied all his life. He's been picked on by his dad, abusively beats him. He gets picked on at school, and like, you know, the thing with found footage movies is they always kind of explain why people are filming. And one of my downfalls about this movie is I don't think the reason why he's filming is a good enough reason to be filming. But, you know, that's just me, because almost every found footage movie says why they're filming. Paranormal Activity, it's because there's a demon in the house and they want to catch the activity and see if it's actually real. VHS, they're filming things for a person that they work with. VHS 2, it's people who are using it. Actually, I forget why they do it in VHS 2, but the point is, a lot of found footage movies give reasons on why they're filming, and in this, Andrew's just like, I'm gonna be filming everything. You know, I was like, okay, maybe if they had given him a little bit of a better reason on why he's filming. But so, he is carrying a camera around all the time, and people are starting to be like, dude, you know, that's kind of creepy, could you turn the camera off? And he's like, I'm just gonna be recording everything now. And like, we kind of get like, Andrew's a smart kid. And, you know, he has, like, his cousin Matt, who they don't really have that much of a really good friendship. But, you know, like, a lot of people in this movie are trying to tell Andrew, like, you know, like, they say it in a nice way. They're kind of like, you need to step out of your shell. You need to actually talk to people. Because like this hiding behind this camera and stuff, it's a little creepy. And it's like they're trying to get Andrew to step out of his comfort circle and trying to get him to interact with other people. And like you see like how he's kind of this tortured person because of how bullied he is, how he's abused by his stepdad or by his dad, and also the fact that he has a lot of pressure on him. He's a senior in high school. Also, his mother is dying, and so he is always trying to take care of her along with his dad, but his dad is abusive to him. So like we have all this pressure put on this kid. And so like when they get their powers, he starts to step out of the circle because he's spending a lot of time with the other two people who have the powers. And Andrew is the strongest of the three. Matt is kind of like the person who's like, okay, we need to set up these rules. He's kind of like the leader of the group. And Steve is the fun, outgoing guy who's, always trying to, have fun with the powers and stuff like that. But they're all really good kids. That's the thing. No one in this movie is really a bad person. So like when stuff starts to go down, you really feel for them. But let's talk more about what this movie and why this movie to me does not feel like a found footage film. Most found footage films, everyone always has a camera in their hand, and so in this movie it does as well. But sometimes Andrew isn't even holding the camera, and what he's doing is because Andrew, like how I said earlier, Andrew is the strongest out of all three of these guys. So like he is experimenting with his powers. So like he's doing this in where he's not even holding the camera. He's using his telekinesis to hold the camera up, and he's filming things while he's not holding it. And it kind of feels like you're watching an actual movie and not a found footage film. And I was like, oh, okay, this is really cool. So, but this movie also has really good chemistry, especially Andrew and his mom. When you see him and his mom together, it's a really heartwarming moment, because even though his mom is dying, she's always trying to encourage Andrew to be like, you're stronger than this. I want you to say that for me. I'm really glad you're spending time with your friends. She's like, I see you alone all the time, and I'm just glad that you're getting out of that. And the chemistry between the two is done really well, and the writing is really well in this movie. But when they start getting their powers, Andrew starts doing a little bit better, but here's the thing. The more they experiment with them, the more... what's the word? Or let me rephrase that. The more Andrew experiments with them, the more he gets lost in them. And I can't believe I'm going to quote this, but to quote Professor X, are you going to be the one who controls the powers, or are you going to let it control you? And that's the thing. Andrew gets lost in these powers. So, like you see, like for the things that you see in the trailer, Andrew pushes the guy off of the railing into the water, and you see like Andrew starts going down this dark path. And this is where Matt's like, okay, we need rules. We cannot use it when we're angry. We cannot use it on living things, and we do not need to do it in public anymore. And so like earlier on in the film, as soon as they get their powers, it skips, but it doesn't say for how long. And like they do different tests. Like they do the baseball test. And, they show, like, Andrew is the one who can stop the ball in midair. And that was one of my cons, is about if they had honestly went back and showed us, like, how each person dealt with the fact that they have powers. I mean, they show it tremendously, but if they had honestly just done a little bit more, maybe shown, like, how it took Andrew so long to get so strong. Because they do show that he works on it, and like the more they use their powers, their nose bleeds. So like when they show Steve move a car, his nose really starts to bleed. And I was like, okay, and like they explain kind of like, maybe it's like a muscle, you get a good workout, but like the more you work it, like, you'll tear it. So like you need to do a decent workout every day. And I was like, okay, that's a really good way of looking at it. And the more they go on, Andrew not only starts to go down a darker path, but they start bringing out a better side of him. But it's when he gets embarrassed for the final time is when he's had enough, and when the powers start to take control. And the more he gets abused, the more angry he gets, and the more he doesn't start to torture. Well, he does, but he starts using his powers on people and experimenting on people, like him pulling teeth out of people's mouths, or like him pulling a spider apart. And when he's talking about the apex predator, that gave me the thing. I was like, all right, you know what? You're not Andrew anymore. You're Apex. I was like, I'm giving you the name Apex. You are Apex. And so, like, when he is embarrassed for the final time, you know, like I was like, is he able to control the weather? Because, like, he's flying, and that was a really cool thing, too, on the effect of how they're flying. And it was really cool on how they told, like, they have to, Andrew describes, like, how he uses his powers. You have to think it. You, like, when he's controlling the camera, he's like, you know, you have to think you're holding the camera. Like, you have to think that you're flying, and that's what allows him to do it. So, like, Andrew is, like, experimenting with the powers and becoming Apex. And for, like, when he goes to pick up his mom's medicine, they won't give him the medicine because he doesn't have the money. So he gets into a firefighter's suit and starts getting money so he can pay for his mom's bills. But the person who he robbed, tries to stop him, and he blows up a gas station. And this is where he finally comes out and he shows how much he's done. He is done. He's had it. He's going to take down anyone who gets in his way. And so, like, the climax in the movie is the best part. Now, see, like, usually, like, whenever bad things go down, like, you're like, oh, come on, how can he still be holding the camera? How is the camera not destroyed? And that's the thing. Andrew is not holding the camera. This camera is filmed by other cameras, like a helicopter is watching them. It's on the news. People are filming it with their own cameras. It's a different style, and it shows that found footage movies are not a joke. They can be done seriously. And that was what I liked about this movie, is that it was done seriously. And the chemistry between all the kids is done really well. All the side stories are done really well. It is a really well put together found footage movie. And, like, you know, a lot of people are always asking, oh, come on, well, how did people find the footage? And that's the thing. They leave you a way to, they explain how people would have found this footage. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that makes perfect sense. But I do have some cons. You know, like how I said about, like, how they should have went deeper into how Andrew is stronger than the other two, because, like, they do give you a good enough amount of him experimenting with the powers, like him able to crush a car, or him being able to pull a spider apart, or him putting Legos together. But if they would have just done a little bit more on how Andrew got so much stronger, I would have enjoyed it more. Sometimes the effects do not look that good. Like, you can tell it's CG, and I like some of the scenes, okay, they have to use CG, but it doesn't always look good sometimes. And that was one of the things that kind of dragged it down. But all in all, the characters in this movie are really good. The chemistry is good. This is a good documentary on a supervillain. You know, seeing Andrew go from, like, coming out of his shell to going into this person who's having fun, to become the villain known as Apex, or in my mind, that's what I call him. It is a really good movie, and I strongly suggest you pick it up. Give it a watch. I strongly suggest it. All in all, I'm giving Chronicle a B+. It is a good found footage movie. You will not be disappointed. If you like found footage movies, you're gonna like it. If you like superhero movies, you're gonna like it. If you like films in general, I really think you're gonna like this movie. Guys, this has been another episode of Phenomenal Views. For those who are watching, I want to thank you for watching this video and enjoying your time. I hope that you have enjoyed this review. Put in the comments below, what did you like about the review? What did you like about Chronicle? What is your favorite found footage movie? I might be doing more found footage movies. Who knows? I don't know. I might. Guys, have a good day.